have entertained you for 5 years. Now watch them as they take a final bow.
How many times do I have to tell you not to just come into my house anytime you feel like?
We are going to return this baby back into your stomach.
What?
The final season of your favorite comedy drama, Anti-Boss, returns to your screen Wednesday from 7:30 p.m.
Inaonekana unaenjoy sana hii maneno. Wewe ndio jogoo wika.
His Excellency Wycliffe Ambetsa Oparanya is pleased to notify property owners within Kakamega County of his decision to extend a 100% waiver. The waiver has been extended from 1st June to 31st August 2020.
Karibu tena mpenzi mtazamaji, nilikuahidi nitakupeleka tena pwani. Na sasa ufuo wa Jomo Kenyatta huko Mombasa umefungwa kwa muda wa zaidi ya mwaka mmoja, huku ujenzi ukitarajiwa kuanza ili kulikarabati eneo hilo na kuweka vivutio vya aina tofauti. Wafanyabiashara waliokuwa wakifanya kazi yao katika eneo hilo wameondolewa wote, huku serikali ya kaunti ikisema watapewa kipaumbele katika nafasi zitakazopatikana baada ya ukarabati huo. Kevin Mutai na taarifa hiyo kutoka Mombasa.
Unapopita kwenye barabara kuu ya kutoka Mombasa kwenda Malindi utakutana na ua wa mabati. Ni taswira katika ufuo wa Jomo Kenyatta ambao kwa miaka mingi limekuwa eneo wazi la watu kwenda kujipumbaza au kupunga unyonyo. Kwa sasa eneo hili limepigwa marufuku kwa umma kwa takriban mwaka mmoja au zaidi, huku waliokuwa wakipanga safari yao wakitakiwa kusitisha au kuzuru ufukwe zingine.
At the moment, Jomo Kenyatta Public Beach is closed for business until this project is fully implemented and complete.
Vibanda, maduka na hata maeneo mengine ya biashara yamebomolewa na serikali ya kaunti, huku ikitupilia mbali madai kwamba eneo hili la ardhi limenyakuliwa. Kaunti inadai kwamba waliokuwa wakifanya kazi hapa hawakuwa wanalipa kodi yoyote, hali ambayo ilikuwa imeleta mzozano kati ya waliokuwa viongozi hapa. Pia kuna madai kwamba ukosefu wa utaratibu ulisababisha utovu wa usalama kwa wageni wanaofika.
When you're accessing the beach from the front, we will actually have an iconic gateway to Jomo Kenyatta Public Beach. We'll also have a parking space which will be 2-story building, and at the same time we will have a pedestrian walkway. Part 2 of the land is where we want to put administration block and an information desk where actually tourists coming into Mombasa can access information on all tourist products and services that we have to offer other than just our beaches. On the left, on part 2 of the land, we will also have an aquarium, and this I think is going to be a game changer.
There will be lighting that is enough for the beach to operate even at night.
Kwa mujibu wa baadhi ya maafisa wa kaunti, mradi huu unatarajiwa kugharimu takriban shilingi milioni 300 ambazo zinatarajiwa kuidhinishwa na bunge la kaunti.
Tunaomba hatuelezeni nini inaendelea kwa sababu sisi tumebakia kama ambaye tumekufa na tuko hai. Manake hatuli, tuna njaa, huwezi kopa dukani, huwezi kula, nyumba zimefungwa, watoto wanatulilia, mtoto analia siku 3 hajala.
We have a list of all those traders, the beach operators and other traders who are operating within the vicinity of this beach, and we want to give them the assurance that once this beach is remodeled and the project is completed, they'll be given first priority in terms of allocation of spaces.
Kwa sasa mikakati inapangwa kukwamua utalii wa ndani kufuatia janga la virusi vya corona. Ukarabati wa eneo hili unanuiwa kupanua utalii wa humu nchini na vilevile hata wa kimataifa. Kevin Mutai, NTV, Mombasa.
Kapu la biashara limeletwa kwako na PesaLink.
Karibu katika kapu letu la biashara. Wadau katika sekta ya utalii sasa wanaiomba serikali kuingilia kati na kuwawezesha kukabiliana na mmea ambao unadhuru mbuga ya taifa ya Nairobi. Kulingana na wadau kutoka chama cha madereva wa utalii na wasimamizi katika mbuga hiyo, mmea huo unaathiri malisho.
Reasons why we have partnered with them is because of this plant here. It's one of the invasive plants that are in this park, and it's really choking the park. So we found it, we deemed it fit to come and partner with them and tujaribu kutoa shauri. Mingi yake inaletwa na magari. It's just by beside the road.
Invasive species are plant species which are undesirable in the habitat. Invasive species are plant species which are usually unpalatable to the animals. Most of them are poisonous.
Na benki ya Equity imesitisha mipango ya kupanua biashara na kufungua matawi katika nchi za Msumbiji, Malawi, Tanzania na Rwanda. Kulingana na taarifa kutoka bodi ya benki hiyo, upanuzi huo ulitakikana kufanyika kupitia kununua matawi ya kampuni ya Atlas mara katika nchi hizo. Bodi ya benki ya Equity imesema kwamba uamuzi wa kusitisha mipango hiyo umetokana na kuzorota kwa mazingira ya kibiashara kutokana na janga la COVID-19. Septemba mwaka jana, benki ya Equity ilinunua benki katika nchi ya Demokrasia ya Kongo katika mipango ya kupanua biashara yake. Uzalishaji wa kawi ya joto ardhi unapigiwa upato kutokana kwa salama kwa mazingira. Kampuni ya KenGen ambayo huzalisha umeme nchini inajihusisha zaidi katika uzalishaji wa kawi hiyo. Mwanahabari wetu wa Nakuru Bridget Ngana alitangamana na mwanakemia wa jiolojia kutoka KenGen na kuandaa taarifa hii.
Hapa ni Olkaria, Naivasha, kaunti ya Nakuru, ndani ya mbuga ya kitaifa ya Hell's Gate. Olkaria ni jina la Kimasai linalomaanisha mchanga mwekundu ambao hutumiwa na jamii hii kujirembesha na unapatikana kwa wingi hapa. Hapa ndipo kampuni ya KenGen ilijenga kiwanda cha kwanza cha kuzalisha umeme kati ya miaka ya 81 na 84. Cyrus Karingithi, mwanakemia ya jiolojia kutoka KenGen, ameshuhudia kuchimbwa kwa zaidi ya visima 300 vya kuzalisha mvuke kutokana na joto ardhi.
Nilikuwa nataka sana kujua mambo ya magari na ndio nikapenda science sana na geography.
Kwa zaidi ya miongo mitatu, Karingithi ameongoza zaidi ya wanasayansi 300 katika ujenzi wa vituo vya kuzalisha umeme hapo Olkaria, lakini anakiri kwamba hali haikuwa rahisi hivyo alipoanza.
Wakati nilikuja Olkaria hatukuwa wengi, wanasayansi wenyewe tulikuwa kama 10 na kitu.
Eneo la bonde la ufa hapa nchini lina maeneo 23 yenye uwezo wa kuzalisha nguvu za umeme kwa kutumia mvuke, na serikali imeorodhesha mpango huu wa kuzalisha kawi nafuu kama mojawapo ya ajenda yake ya kuimarisha viwanda. Karingithi anatamani sana kuona idadi ya wanasayansi wa hadhi na fani yake wakiongezeka nchini, hasa kina dada. Bridget Ngana, NTV, Nakuru.
Kutoka kaunti yangu ya nyumbani Nakuru, upande wa pili wa studio namuona Joshua Makori. Hivi basi nakusihi usicheze mbali, manake atakuletea yote yaliyojiri viwanjani.
Oya cheki, kuna vile sasa muziki manze, kuna vile najipo manze, yani na cheki haimaanishi tu tunajibamba, yani very regular.
Kitu ya muhimu kwanza ni kujua hali yako ya status ya HIV.
Kwa hapa hivi tuwapeleke na Rieng, tujue venye manze tutasaidiana, si kama vijana. Na kwa unaogopa kwenda pale hivi kwa clinic, unaweza pitia pale hivi kwa chemist ya mtaa, uitishe a self test kit, wanauza 500 bob only. Unajitestia tu mtaani, unajua hali yako
manze, na ukiweza patikana nayo yani uko positive manze, usiogope. Kuna madawa yani jo, kuna counseling manze, unaweza kula fit yani, alafu unaweza piga bado ma exercise kiasi hivi. Na kama nyewe manze ukiweza patikana yani hauna manze, usiasi tu unaenda kutafuta tena.
Cheki, ukiweza abstain,
lakini maji yakizidi unga,
wrap it before you tap it.
La bila gloves haiwezi. Rieng kujijua.
Unapoendelea kujikinga kutokana na HIV, tafadhali zingatia taratibu zote za serikali za kujikinga na virusi vya corona. Afya bora, maisha bora. Jipime, jiinue.
Wa Kenya,
Hii fight hatukuchagua, lakini tuko na choice. Tuchague kujilinda. Tuchague kuprotect familia zetu. Tuchague usafi. Kuosha mikono. Kuosha manyumba zetu. Ndio tulinde watoto wetu. Na tuvae mask. Future yetu iko mikononi mwetu. Kenya, let's do it for the ones we love.
Nimeosha mikono, osha yako. Ikiwezekana fanyia kazi kwako. Hata Mungu muabudie kwako. Yuko kila pahali. Hata kusikia.
Umbea wale imeshafika kwao. Kwa huruma zake Mungu ashinde kifo. Nawe jizuie. Ni kwa muda tu. Tutashinda.
Helen Paul. Hello, madam. Would you like to join us on this mission? Yes, but how? Just one question for you. How do you keep your toilet clean? I use regular detergent and bleach for washing and removing yellow stains. I've been using it for years. Oh, madam, the regular detergents and bleach are used for washing clothes. To disinfect your toilet properly, you need Harpic 10X. It is specially made for germs and stains removal. Harpic's thick formula settles on stains and gives 10 times better cleaning compared to regular detergents and bleach. Wow, now I'm convinced, Helen Paul. Really? Yeah. Now that she's part of the mission, the next house is yours.
Ndo mida sasa ya kudunda viwanjani haraka upesi. Wananiita Yoshua Makori. Wakifua kiungo wa timu ya taifa kandanda Harambee Stars Yohana Omolo ametoa msaada wa vyakula kwa familia 300 mtaani Dandora hapa jijini Nairobi. Shughuli yenyewe ilifanikishwa kwa ushirikiano na ubalozi wa Ubelgiji, taifa ambalo Omolo anacheza soka ya kulipwa. Nyota huyo mwenye umri wa miaka 30 anaichezea Sacco Brugge inayoshiriki ligi kuu ya Ubelgiji. Aidha, balozi wa Ubelgiji hapa Kenya Nicholas Nihon alihudhuria hafla hii iliyofanyika katika uwanja wa Dandora ambao ukarabati wake umetelekezwa kwa muda sasa. Wanakandarasi wanadaiwa kuacha kukarabati uwanja huu Septemba mwaka huu baada ya tume ya kupambana na ufisadi kuanza kuchunguza madai ya ununuzi wa vifaa duni.
Made it in football, but he decided to create this foundation to sustain the people of that community by giving grants for education, by giving a sanitary pad.
Wanariadha 100 kutoka Iten, kaunti ya Elgeyo Marakwet wamenufaika na msaada wa vyakula kutoka kwa wakfu wa mshikilizi wa rekodi ya dunia ya marathon Eliud Kipchoge kwa ushirikiano na kampuni ya Shanir Hall. Wanariadha hawa humu nchini na ughaibuni walipokea sukari, mafuta ya kupikia, unga na sabuni. Wakati huo Kipchoge amewaomba wahisani kuendelea kujitokeza na kuwasaidia wanariadha wengi ambao wameathirika na janga la homa ya corona. Katika shughuli ya leo, zaidi ya wanariadha 150 walijitokeza, ila walionufaika ni 100 pekee. Kesho wanariadha wengine kutoka maeneo ya Kaptagat na Eldoret wanatarajiwa wapate msaada huo. Nimefanya kanisa, lakini utafanyaje? Jen sasa funge.
Makori, unavyosema kila siku ipo siku, na kesho pia ni siku, tutakutana hapa inshallah. Naitwa Ngoiri na muona Julius Samboko anakuja hapa studio na Business Redefined. Salia NTV, kwaheri.
This is NTV.
I help women find independence by training them in fish farming. It's tough on my back, joints, and can
cause headaches. Panadol Extra relieves multiple types of pain. If symptoms persist, seek medical advice.
I'm here for small biasharas in my hood or beyond. I'm here for my customers who are sought every time they come through. Put your business on the map with Visa. Where you shop matters.
Explorers of the night, wale wase wa kuhustle usiku, kustreama movies, music mix diehards, and gaming fanatics. We've heard you. It is now your time to fly your flag high. Do what you love, mpaka che na Telkom. Join Usiku Sacco with Telkom night bundles that allow you rule the night at prices you love. Join our tribe, Usiku Sacco Squad. Just dial *544# from your Telkom line and select the night bundle of your dreams. You are the legend the night needs.
Do your gums hurt? Yeah. Does your toothpaste contain sage, eucalyptus, myrrh, chamomile? All that in one toothpaste? Yes, try Colgate Herbal. Colgate Herbal contains nature's best herbs and Colgate's fluoride technology to give you strong teeth and healthy gums. Ah, Colgate Herbal. Let's go. Colgate Herbal for strong teeth and healthy gums naturally.
By the SASRA registered about 174 rather, and their total assets are 495.25 billion shillings, crossing over. Let's look at it in terms of membership. Now, majority, that's about 3.5 million Kenyans who are active in this sector, qualify for active membership, which means they're making their remittances every so often, and another 676.0 thousand people are in the dormant membership. So these are the guys who Saccos are trying to follow up just to try and incentivize them to continue making their deposits and boosting their savings. And to our final metric, which we'd like to look at today in terms of the loan book. And remember, I should just clarify again, this is only the deposit-taking ones. Between 2016 and 2018, the growth has been quite substantial, coming from about 297.6 billion shillings up to about 374 billion shillings. And therefore, this is why Saccos are playing a significant role in terms of the formal financial services. But now let's get into our conversation with PS Ali Noor, who is in the State Department of Cooperatives. PS, welcome on set. And many are just curious to know, how has the cooperative movement been impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic?
Thank you, Mboko, for having me. I will, first of all, let me say that the cooperative sector, like every other sector of the economy of this country, and even globally, has not been spared, and therefore it has been affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, if I can categorize this impact in three areas, I would there is a financial impact, there is operational impact, and there is also logistical impact. Now, let me start with the financial impact. We have seen, for example, that key sectors, cooperatives in key sectors that have been impacted greatly by the COVID-19 have actually been affected. I am talking about the aviation sector, the travel industry, that is, hospitality. I am talking about horticulture. I'm also talking about the transport sector, the SMEs. So we realize, and even construction and even cooperatives that are in the trade sector, we have seen that they have been impacted greatly by the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, what are the nature of these impacts? One, we have seen actually loan repayments have been impacted. We have also seen that loan deposits, or savings for that matter, have also been impacted. We have also seen that there is, people are not borrowing as they used to borrow previously, because there is a bit of uncertainty, but also partly because of the fact, especially for long-term borrowing, but partly because of the fact that the umbrella Sacco body, Kenya Union of Savings and Credit Cooperatives, known as KUSCO, has also told the members, together with the regulator SASRA, to actually borrow on a short-term basis. Okay. We have seen a few instances of panic withdrawal, not because people want to withdraw the money, but actually they do not have an alternative source of income, and therefore they have come back to those savings in order to be able to use them for their day-to-day. But again, I must qualify once again that this impact we see largely in the SME sector and those sectors that have actually been greatly impacted by the COVID-19. But majority of the larger Saccos, generally in the month of April, in the month of May, there hasn't been any significant change. We have started to see a very marginal change, probably in this month of June, where there is some evidence of a bit of stagnation or a slight decline. This is really how the financial impact has been. Now, when I come to the operational impact, what has happened is that people now have to work virtually. They have to work remotely. So the cooperative societies are not able to actually work in the way that they used to work. Now, what are the implications here? The implications are that for small Saccos, I mean, the Saccos have now to invest in ICT. The bigger Saccos, of course, can afford this, but for the smaller Saccos, that poses a challenge. And therefore, there's that implication. Then logistically, it has impacted on the movement. We are a large movement where members move around all the time for different reasons. Of course, among other things, mobilization or even the very membership that are members of this very important sector. That also has been impacted. So generally, I will summarize the impact in that manner.
All right. And PS, many are curious to know, we have had a lot of mitigating measures, largely in the banking sector, way of restructuring of loans. Is this happening in the corporate movement?
Yes, Julius, that is happening. Immediately the corona virus pandemic hit our country. We as a cooperative movement came together and we set up the Cooperative Corona Virus Response Committee. The objective of this committee was actually to supplement government efforts in mitigating the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic. What did we do? First, we started raising money on a voluntary basis within the movement. Through this, we have been able to raise so far 11 million shillings, and we have been able to spend about 4.5 million so far of that amount on members of cooperatives, as well as members of the Kenyan community, in order to give them relief in terms of some source of, some food. Now, what did we do? We partnered with Saccos, and we had a kit called COP Kit. This is a kit which has got some maize meal, it has some beans, it has some oil, it has some toiletries in terms of hygiene, and we have been able to give relief to about 5,000 members, of which 80% are cooperative members who have been impacted, by the COVID-19, especially industrial area, and the other 20% are actually members of the larger Kenyan community who have been targeted through the government vulnerability assessment through the district, the deputy county commissioners. So through this program, we have been able to reach 5,000 persons and given them relief. Number two, through the umbrella body, Cusco, we have been able to advise Saccos to be able to restructure where the loan restructuring may be necessary as a measure of relief. We have been able to, through Cusco again, advise them to actually concentrate on or give out short-term loans, because then they're easier to pay and they do not put a burden. And again, because of the uncertainty, you're not able to take a longer view of actually a loan which will go too much into the future. At the same time, we have been able to provide a psychosocial support center at Cusco. We are currently installing a toll-free line, and we intend to provide counselors who will then be able to counsel members of the corporate movement who have been impacted by the COVID-19. You will agree with me, Julius, that not only has there been financial and other impact, but in fact there has been psychological impact, brought about by the COVID-19. Then, in addition, we have told the Saccos through Cusco again, where there is a panic withdrawal, speak to the members and see whether in fact you can be able to give them a short-term lending, which is equivalent to what they have in savings, so that they do not actually withdraw. And then finally, we have been able to, through a circular by the Commissioner for Cooperative, we have told Saccos to pay dividends to their members so that they have some liquidity, and this decision of the payment of the dividends would be ratified in AGMs or annual delegates meeting at a future date. Finally, we are undertaking a study on the real impact of the COVID-19 in this sector, so we can be able to come out with the numbers and see how we can re-strategize and retool the sector if, in fact, the COVID-19 becomes the new normal. Because one thing we have seen, for example, we have not been focusing on health cooperatives, but we have seen from this experience of COVID-19 that actually they will be very handy in a situation like this. Okay. And of course, because of other problems such as cancer and some of the diseases that we have seen in the country in the recent past.
Okay. And that point by PS Ali Noor takes us to our break in this program. We'll be back with a lot more with the PS on this subject.
Disinfect and protect your home with Jik. Jik kills 99.9% of illness-causing germs. Disinfect floors, kitchen and bathroom surfaces, and wash white clothes, towels, and dishcloths with Jik bleach. Just Jik it.
My whole life is in my phone.
Blueband margarine. New look, same great taste.
For a better tomorrow, don't forget to do the 1, 2, 3 with Colgate every night.
We want you to relax and feel safe in your own home, at the office, in a restaurant, at the salon, or any public space that you visit. Ace Cleaning products are a sure way of feeling safe and secure in your home.
Welcome back to Business Redefined, your weekly most comprehensive look at the world of business and economics. Tonight we are focusing on the cooperative movement, savings and COVID-19. And on set we have PS in the State Department of Cooperatives, Ali Noor. And just before the break we were discussing the issues of the impact this has had on the cooperative movement and the mitigative measures being taken. PS, let me just turn back to you. And the question out here is, if you look at the fourth schedule of the Constitution, the 2010 Constitution I should say, it provides that management of cooperatives is a devolved function. How are you coordinating with county governments this response?
Thank you, Amboko. Now, Julius, you will agree with me that at the beginning, we all thought that the COVID was actually a problem that was only here for the short time and then it will go away, or a solution will be found. It will now look like it is actually the new normal, and we are told that it may actually be with us until probably a cure is either found or a vaccine is actually found. Now, cognizant of this fact, we had largely concentrated on actually, our members in Nairobi and its environs. You will also maybe know that nearly 60% of the cooperatives in this country are concentrated in Nairobi County. And so actually by reaching out with this program, we have been able to reach a large segment of the cooperative members in Nairobi County. But that said, we are now considering to have actually branches of the cooperative COVID virus response committee in the counties, in conjunction or consultation with the Council of Governors, so that in fact this impact is also felt at the county. So we are in the process of extending what we have been doing so far to the counties. But again, I should also add that even then, cooperatives within different counties in this country at their level have actually been trying to see ways and means of mitigating, the effect of the COVID-19. And one area where they have been instrumental, apart from providing whatever other support that they can provide, has really been in the form of educating and sensitizing their members on the government guidelines, such as social distancing, such as the need to wear masks, such as actually hand washing, and in the absence of soap, actually sanitizing. So this is also what we have been doing as part of our response to our members, within Nairobi County. And this is also what cooperatives in the counties outside Nairobi, at their own level, in their small way, are also actually trying to do. So moving forward, we intend to set up branches of this committee and work with cooperatives in the counties. And we will do this through a partnership with the Council of Governors.
PS, there's a question from Kelly Gitai on Twitter who is asking that please ask the PS what the ministry is doing regarding the issue of fraud in Saccos.
Thank you. Now, first of all, let me admit that like every other sector, especially where matters of money are concerned, there have been some fraud in the cooperative sector. But let me also qualify that the bulk of the cooperative societies in this country are actually vibrant. They are actually giving excellent service to their members, and members are able to actually access, relatively cheaper loans, to their members. But then we still need to deal with a few errant members in the sector, who actually have perpetrated fraud or abused their office. Now, normally, this is provided for under Section 58 of the Cooperative Societies Act through the Office of the Commissioner. What normally happens is either through a normal inspection by the Commissioner of Cooperatives and his staff, or through a complaint by a member, or in fact, on the advice of the regulator, that is the Sacco Societies Regulatory Authority, or in fact, any other entity, such as a county, we then undertake what is called an inquiry. Now, the purpose of undertaking the inquiry is to be able to establish whether, in fact, there have been issues of governance in that particular Sacco. Now, if there is a finding through the report that indeed there has been some misgovernance in that society, there are a number of actions that then the commissioner takes. One, he can surcharge, equivalent to the amount of money that has been lost.
Yeah.
Now, he can also remove them from office and debar them actually from holding offices in future. He can also actually remove the board and put an interim board pending election of the real board through an election by the member. So there are a raft of measures.
Okay.
Now, we may not have put them in the media, but all the time, this is the work of the Commissioner for Cooperatives, as well as actually the regulator, that is the Sacco Societies Regulatory Authority, when it comes to the 174 deposit taking Saccos, which are under their regulation. Now, what then has happened is that when the order is given by the commissioner, the enforcement of that order is normally done through the cooperative tribunal. Once that order is issued, it then becomes, because it's a quasi-judicial entity, as you know, or an administrative tribunal, it is an order like any other order given by the courts. Now, what has then happened is that in many instances, after the order has been given by the tribunal, then the affected officials have gone to they have appealed to the High Court. Now, once that appeal is lodged in the High Court, then what happens is that it's like any other court process, and we have only wait for the outcome of that court order. The court case. Now in some instances, after we have actually carried out an inquiry, and we now want to do an enforcement order through the corporate tribunal based on the findings that we've been able to establish through that inquiry report. Actually, what has happened is that, again, officials of that, and when we have removed them from office, they have rushed to court and obtained an injunction. So there are a number of cases that are actually now in the courts where we are asking to get an injunction or actually await the appeal process. There are also a number of cases where fraud has been suspected, where we have referred to the DCI, and that investigation is actually good. And again, for the many that we do either refer to DCI or are going through the court process, there are many we have been able to actually resolve the issues, and as a consequence, those societies or Saccos today are existing and very vibrant.
All right. Many thanks, P.S. Ali Noor. Unfortunately, that's all the time we had for tonight. Thank you so much for creating time to speak to Business Redefined on the issues of the cooperative movement, savings, as well as the impact that COVID-19 is having in this sector. Remember, this is a key player in the financial services, formal financial services architecture in the Kenyan economy. And we'll continue to follow up on some of these issues. If you recall Ushirika Day last year, President Uhuru Kenyatta gave a number of directives, including the facilitation of an inter-Sacco exchange, just the same way we have interbank lending. We are waiting to see how that unfolds. Up next, we have the Markets Review.
Market Review, proudly brought to you by Business Daily. More possibilities.
Now let's take a look at how the stock market closed the day today. If you look at the numbers on your screen, we had the NSE 20 share index closing at 1949.82 points in terms of change year to date, 6.54%, and change day on day, that is compared to yesterday, is just down marginally by 0.39%. So definitely investors there taking a hit. Moving on to the foreign exchange market, the Kenya shilling against the US dollar closing at 106.42 points, down marginally by 0.1%. The Kenyan shilling against the sterling pound at 132.21 points, up again marginally by 0.32%. And against the euro, there was no change compared to yesterday, therefore closing at 119.28 points. Therefore, it has been a relatively quiet day from both the Nairobi Securities Exchange and the Forex market, and that is how the markets have been today.
Market Review, proudly brought to you by Business Daily. More possibilities.
And again, that's all the time we had for tonight, focusing on cooperative savings and the COVID-19 pandemic. Please continue giving us your feedback on Twitter and any other social media platforms. We do appreciate your viewership and all the feedback you give us. Let's do this again next Tuesday, same place, same time on Business Redefined.
by training them in fish farm. It's tough on my back, joints, and can cause headaches. Panadol Extra relieves multiple types of pain. If symptoms persist, seek medical advice.
This is Fact Finder from the BBC.
We look at Russia's renewed relations with Africa and what's in it for the continent.
The wedding that never was. We look at how Nigerians fell for a fake alert on a clandestine wedding allegedly involving President Muhammadu Buhari.
We find out why you need to be cautious about what you publish online.
Finding the truth in these uncertain times has become certain. Possibilities for business even more convenient with the Nation e-paper. To enjoy this and more, simply dial *550*1# for Daily Nation and *550*5# for Business Daily on your mobile phone and get 50% discount on the e-paper. Yes, for just 20 shillings each, the truth will find you and more possibilities right where you are. Dial *550*1# for Daily Nation and *550*5# for Business Daily today. Terms and conditions apply.
Wakati tumefunga shule nikadam kumwambia mimi sigesi vizuri ni kama kuna ujauzito.
Alikuja akanikamata akanieleza kwa nyumba ya miradi.
Akashika mtoto akamharibu akampasua hawezi hata kuenda.
There has been a significant spike in sexual offences.
Children are getting pregnant under your own roof.
In some cases, the perpetrators, unfortunately, of such offences are close relatives.
I am going to lobby the cabinet to block information related to pornography.
If the person who is vulnerable to abuse is not taught how to control or even how to see it so that they can speak out, you can ban anything, but someone would still be able to abuse that child.
NTV, turning on your world. The following program has been rated PG. It may contain scenes unsuitable for children under the age of 10.